This is my 2023 Ford F350 Lariat with the black appearance package and the high output diesel. I haven't seen really a lot of these in the wild. I took delivery of this about 6 weeks ago. It's carbonized gray, and what the black appearance package gives you over the sport package, it's a different front grille. It's a different color of the front grille. It blacks out all the emblems, the Ford emblems, and you get the black painted mirror caps, the different wheels, obviously, which I wasn't sure if I was going to like these wheels. I almost went with the sport appearance package because I wasn't sure if I was going to like them. But I actually really like these rotary dial type wheels. It blacks out the FX4 package. This is a long bed. I'll give you a quick shot of the interior. It's got a really nice interior. It's the Lariat Ultimate package. The seats are just ridiculous. It's got the multi-contour seats that lay down flat into a bed. It's got this backrest here that you can adjust for your shoulders to different heights. So it can go all the way back, or you can click it forward. It's got multiple positions. They are heated and cooled, but the leather is just really soft and very well bolstered. I'm really impressed with the quality of the interior. I'm coming from a 2013 F350, essentially kind of like a Lariat, so this is a huge upgrade. But I wanted to show the stickers here. So it's got 4,032 pounds of payload. It's a fully loaded Lariat minus the sunroof, which I'm really glad did not get. I've never had good experiences with sunroofs. So they just take up, they'll take out about 100 to 150 pounds of payload, and then you have to worry about them leaking or breaking, which I have never had a sunroof that didn't break at some point. So it's got the B&O sound system in it, the headrest speakers and all that. Like, I think it's 18 speakers. It's a decent sound system. But there's the tire and loading information, and then you can see it's got 275/65 R20s. The front gross axle weight rating is 5,600 pounds, and the rear is 7,230. And I did look the tires up on the Bridgestone website, and these tires both have they're an E load rating, and I believe it was 3,750. So 7,500 pounds is what the rating of both tires would be. So it's just over the gross axle weight rating in the rear. But it's a beautiful truck. I got the fifth wheel prep package. So I did a gooseneck conversion on my trailer. I really like the side steps. Those just really come in handy, especially this one when washing the truck or hooking up my trailer. I know it's a little controversial, but I really like it. When I did the black appearance package, it deleted the automatic running boards, the retractable ones, and you get these fixed ones, which I kind of wanted the automatic ones, but that's fine. But I really like the color. This is the color of my last truck. I like the gray with the black. So there's a nice shot of the truck. And I do also like the little keypad here. If you need to get in and out of the truck and you don't have your keys on you, you can use the keypad, or you can use the Ford app. I don't use the app a lot, except for I recently discovered that you can use the app to log all the maintenance you do. It's got a maintenance log on there, so if you ever have any warranty problems, all my oil changes, fuel filter, all the stuff I do on the truck, tire rotations, whatever, I can log those in the Ford app. So Here's the interior of the truck. We'll start it up. You get that display there. I know everybody's seen this before in other videos. It's hot. We're in Texas, so it's probably close to 100 degrees. So I adjusted the tire pressures. I'm gonna turn the air on it. When I'm not towing, I keep them at about 65. It says tire pressure low because Ford says to put the rears at 80 and the fronts at 60. It's the same tire on the front and the rear. There's no difference. So there's no problem running the rears at a lower tire pressure because, again, it's the same tire that's on the front. The max tire pressure cold for these tires is 80, so that's what Ford recommends to get that max tire loading of 7250, or excuse me, of 3750 per tire. So 7,500 for the for both tires in the back. But anyways, I'm gonna do a quick drive with the truck and just do a quick MPG loop going to the dealership to have them look at my wheels that are have some of the paint that's corroding. So I'm gonna do it at 70 miles per hour and we'll see what kind of fuel economy this thing gets both directions. It's about 25 miles round trip there and back. I'm gonna do it at 70 miles an hour in eco mode. So here's your drive mode selector down here, and I'll acknowledge that message. I'm gonna reset the fuel economy, so I'll put that in fuel economy mode. That's been a combination of city and highway driving with idling, so 18.7, which isn't too bad. I think I'll probably get closer to 20 with just highway driving. So it's in eco mode. It goes through the different graphics with the different modes. I'm not gonna put it into any of the four-wheel drive modes. So we'll drive this in eco mode. I'll reset the MPG or the trip meter, so it'll start at 0, and then we'll see what kind of gas mileage this thing gets. All right, I'm about to start this quick MPG loop, and I'm gonna reset the trip meter. We're gonna do this at 70 miles an hour, and I'm actually gonna keep it on this screen. I'm gonna reset this one also, and here we go. I've got it in eco mode, normal acceleration, normal driving up to 70 miles an hour. And I'm also going to kind of show how good the lane keeping system is on this vehicle. It's not self-driving or anything like that. It makes you keep your hands on the wheel. If you take your hands off the wheel, it'll reset and it'll yell at you about every 10 to 15 seconds. You have to kind of jiggle the wheel, and then you can let go if you wanted to for another 10 to 15 seconds. But we'll get it up to speed, 70 miles an hour. It's really hot outside. It says 111 degrees. So, here we go. I think that it's gonna get 19 to 20 miles per gallon. And again, we're gonna do both directions so that it takes into account the wind. So here we go.
Police reported ahead.
All right, there's 70 miles an hour. I'm gonna set the cruise at 70. There's a police officer up there. We're going the speed limit. There he is. So again, I am hands off the wheel right now, and I'll kind of show you that. So it's gonna ding at me and say, keep hands on steering wheel. I jiggle it a little bit. I'm hands off the wheel, not touching the steering wheel. And it just drives perfectly straight in the lane. It'll go around curves. Obviously, it's got the adaptive cruise control. So now it's gonna yell at me again. I have to jiggle the wheel again. But you can see the little blue bars on the heads-up display. That's for the lane keep, showing you that it sees the lines, it sees the lanes, and it's gonna keep you within those lines. And it'll actually yell at me on the heads-up display. So I just jiggle the wheel, and that's it. So we're going up some hills here Right now we're getting about 16. I gotta put my hands on the wheel. And we're gonna get stuck behind this semi truck, so we might get slowed down a little bit. There's a little bit of traffic today. But we'll get around him here in a second. But again, I haven't had, except to jiggle the wheel every 10 to 15 seconds, which is really nice because it can kind of take the load off the driver. It's following behind the vehicle in front of me. I can set the distance. I've got it set on the closest following distance right now. We're gonna get around this guy. We got some traffic here. But it's really good. I wish it turns off when you put it in tow haul mode. It's still there to alert you if you're departing the lane, but it won't actively keep you centered in the lane. So I'm gonna increase the drive distance of the vehicle in front of me. So put it at maybe 3. So yeah, and if you don't move it and allow it to get to, it goes from amber to red or yellow to red, it'll actually disengage and it'll beep at you. So there we go, 70 miles an hour. And like I said, I'll get 20 miles to the gallon at 70 miles per hour. It's pretty impressive. And it is so quiet in here. It's a really nice driving vehicle. See, there's that beep if I take my hands off the wheel. Gives you a lot of information on the heads-up display. If you have navigation on, it'll give you directions on the heads-up display. So there's that. Yeah, it's yelling at me to touch the steering wheel. Again, now I'm at 19.3 and still climbing on the MPG. Cruise set at 70 miles an hour. And at 70 miles an hour, I'm right around 1400 RPM. If I were to bump it up to 75, it's right around 1500. So this has the 331 gears with the electronic locking rear axle. It's the FX4 package. The overall diameter of these tires is 34.1 inches. So it's almost the same size tire as the 35s that come on the Tremor. The tires don't look too small for the truck. But we're going up this hill right now, so the MPG's dropping a little bit. But once, see, it's yelling at me. So it'll turn off if it notices that I've not been holding onto the wheel for too long. It's kind of like it'll punish you and it'll just turn off. And I've had times where it'll turn off on me and it won't come back on for a couple of minutes. And I assume that's in the programming. But anyways, so we're getting 19 miles to the gallon. I got to get around this traffic up here. Get back up to 70 miles an hour. But this diesel that weighs 8,000 pounds gets better gas mileage than my F350 did. That was a 6,000 pound truck. So we're back up to 70. We're going up and down hills. It's not flat ground. Yep, there it is, yelling at me again. The lane keep is really nice though, because like I said, it takes the load off the driver from always just, I mean, I'm not saying take your hands off the steering wheel, but if you need to look away or do something, it'll brake for you, it'll steer you around curves, it'll keep you in the lane. They're really nice features to have. And you can turn it off if you don't want to have it right here. That's the radar cruise control. And then the lane keep is here. So it's a really nice setup. I really like the truck. You can actually set it also so that it follows the speed limit for you. So speed limit's backing down to 65, so I'm going to slow down up here. But if I wanted to, you can go in the settings and you can automatically have it follow the speed limit. So we're gonna get over 20 miles per gallon. And I'll go back to the trip meter. So the trip meter says 8.1 miles and 19.6, 19.7. So I'm gonna slow us down to 55 because we're coming up to 55 mile per hour speed limit up here. So here we go. But again, really impressive how good the fuel economy is in such a massive vehicle with all the emissions on it. Now, I know if this thing didn't have the emissions, I'd probably see another 2 or 3, maybe more increase, 2 or 3 mile per gallon increase. So maybe, you know, I could get 24 or 25 mpg in this big truck. So I also like that it shows you the gear you're in. There's so much configuring you can do of the gauge, the digital gauge cluster here. I hope it proves to be reliable. The only problems I've had with the truck in almost 2 months and 3,000 miles of ownership, it's about to tick 3,500 miles, is the Apple CarPlay at times can be finicky. The wireless Apple CarPlay, if it's plugged in, it's fine. But when it's wireless, I don't know if it's like the phone is doing too much at one time. If you're doing a bunch of stuff, the music will start to glitch and get laggy, and sometimes it'll lock up and you'll have to go to another screen and come back. So anyways, let's go back to this. So 19.9 miles per gallon. We're going the speed limit. Kick it up to 60 just to go with the flow of traffic here. Super quiet, really comfortable ride, the nicest seats I've ever had. I don't think I'll ever use the laying flat feature, but these multi-contour seats, I sat in my brother's F350 Platinum, and his is a 22, and he's got the massaging seats in there, but these multi-contour seats, even more than last year's Platinum, they're just so much softer. The leather is so soft and compliant. It's a really comfortable seat. But again, looking at the fuel economy, we're going around a curve here. The truck's doing it for me. It's just, you know, it's gonna ding at me any second now to put my hands on the wheel. But it is so good going around these curves. So I'm getting almost 21 miles per gallon, and I'm just pulling up to the Ford dealer. So this MPG loop is gonna include me pulling up to the Ford dealer, parking. They're gonna come out and take some pictures of the damage on the wheels, and then they're gonna submit it all to Ford and see if we can get the wheels replaced. So it's my local dealer. So 21 mpg on the way to the dealer, and we'll see how it does on the way out. So I'm going to end the video here, and we'll restart it here in a minute. So I just stopped at my local Ford dealer to get the wheels looked at. They took some pictures of the wheels to send the warranty claim up to Ford. They still have a bunch of 2022 models here. I actually tried to buy a truck from this dealer, but they wanted last year's truck for like almost $10,000 over MSRP, and I got my truck for $7,000 under MSRP. So, and I ordered it. I got the exact truck that I wanted. So I'd say they probably have at least 10 of the old trucks from 22 here still, and then they're just starting to get some of the 23s. So this is an F350 XLT. And let's see what the MSRP is, 77. It's probably, no, it's a diesel. Yeah, it's got the Power Stroke in it. 77.3. There's the sticker. Here is an F350 dually. It's a Lariat. And somebody must have ripped the sticker off by rolling the window down. It's not up there. But it's got the high output diesel. Here is an XLT 250. I'm really glad I got the black appearance package because in person, I'm not a huge fan of those wheels. And I wonder if they took the center caps off because they're afraid of them getting stolen. None of the trucks have the center caps. But this F350 XLT for sale here, 77.3. With diesel, it's just the standard, not the high output. Here's another dually F350, no sticker on it. And then here's, so it looks like they just have the basic trucks, F350 STX. And this one's really cheap because it's a gas. But 63,165. I'm sorry, right next to the highway. So it's super loud. Here's an F350, also an STX. Some more STXs. I don't even see STX. These are all basic, super basic trucks. But anyways, there's my truck back here. I have not seen another black appearance package Super Duty on any dealer's lot or in person. Even at the dealership that I picked mine up from almost 2 months ago, I was the only black appearance package truck because I know it was a job 2 order. And I got it way faster than what they expected. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna head back to the house and finish the rest of this MPG loop. By the time I get back on the road, I think it'll be at about 20 MPG because I've been driving around the parking lot a little bit in the service department. So we'll start again from there. All right, we're getting back on the road, have not reset. Fuel economy got here at 21.1, idling and driving around the parking lot, I'm at 19.7. Get on the highway here and turn around. So it's probably gonna drop down to 18 or 19. So I gotta turn around up here. So I still think that we'll probably finish around 20. If this was just strict highway, I could get 21 MPG. I've been driving this truck for 3,500 miles, and at 75, I'm getting, you know, close to 20, depending on the winds. So at 70, I've had no problem getting 20 miles per gallon. And if the winds are favorable, 21 or 22. I've seen other reviewers doing videos of like Tremors or dualies, but this is the ultimate, I guess, MPG Super Duty because I don't know why the fans are kicking on right now, but they are. Because it's got the 331 gears and it's not a dually. So here we go. Back on the highway, the speed limit initially is 55. I'll go 60. And then when it bumps back up, we'll kick it up to 70 miles an hour. So here we go. It's flashing at me saying the speed limit's 40 on this service road, but I'm merging onto the highway, so I'm going to put it at 60, and we'll just keep up with the flow of traffic. And maybe might have to go a little slower to stay away from these big semi trucks that drop rocks. All right, so we'll see how it does go in the opposite direction. Really, I like the truck. It's such a nice vehicle. It's the most I've ever spent. Once I get back to the house, I'll grab the sticker and show what the MSRP was. It was just under $93,000 with destination and delivery. Fully loaded Lariat. But I got it for, essentially for invoice, I got it for $85,000. And that was with everything included. I'm lucky that the state that I'm registered in, because of my job, I don't have to pay taxes. So I got this truck for $85,000. So here we go, it's coming back up. We're going up a hill right now, about to get on flat ground again. So it'll probably jump back up in the 20s as we're going these slower speeds. And then once we get up to 70, we may end up around 19. I think there's a big headwind going this direction. So, but anyways, I shopped around a lot to find this truck for this price. I ended up finding the dealership online on a forum. It's a smaller dealer, middle of nowhere, that is looking to grow their inventory, so they were offering invoice pricing. I put an order in for the truck, and I got it for, I ended up getting it for invoice. There was a little bit of drama with the ordering of the truck. The dealer, the person responsible for placing the orders, after I sent them all the paperwork and signed the paperwork, I signed everything for this truck. The person that submitted the order to Ford accidentally ordered an F350 instead of an F350. So we had to get that fixed, and that was a little bit of drama with the dealership of playing the blame game and them trying to blame me. I had to bring out the contract and show them the paperwork to prove that I had put a deposit on an F350 on this exact vehicle. And once the owner of the dealership saw that, he honored the contract and admitted that it was their mistake, and they ordered the correct truck. Whether that caused a delay for me, it probably did. I initially ordered the first truck last year, but it was a job to order, so I don't think it had a huge effect on the delivery of the vehicle, the timeline. But yeah, I'm using cruise control, so it keeps jamming on the brakes because this semi truck here. So we're gonna bump this speed up. Let's do that. Okay, so that's a little frustrating. The file got corrupted as I was pulling back into the house. So we lost the last couple of miles of the MPG loop. So I ended up, with parking and stopping, putting my truck in the garage, 20.9, about 30 minutes, 26 miles. So that's pretty good, 21 miles per gallon. It was actually at 21 when I got to the house, and I did a couple things, so it dropped down to 20.9. So 21 MPG, we'll call it, 26 miles, probably averaging about 65 with the 55 mile an hour speed limit and going 60 through town. That was only for a couple of miles, 3 or 4 miles. The majority of the trip was at 70 miles an hour. So 21 MPG going 75, probably about 20 MPG, but no worse. The worst I've gotten is 19 miles per gallon, probably with a really bad headwind at 75 to 80. So that's pretty impressive for such a massive truck. I just wanted to include a quick shot of the window sticker, the Monroney. If you want to pause the video here. Here's all the options I got. So base price, call it $65,000 with $25,000 worth of options. Total price $91,700, and I got it for $85,000. So I got a little discount from Ford, and then I also, obviously, I worked with the dealer to get the truck at invoice. So there you go. I'm gonna do another MPG loop. It's not really gonna be a loop, but I've got a longer drive later this week, about an hour, and I'll set the cruise. We'll be doing 70 to 75 miles an hour, so we'll see what it does.